Use code AFTV20 for 20% off your order with Fireaway Pizza. Just click the link in the description below or go to fireaway.co.uk now.
Hi, welcome to AFTV. I got Robbie with me. We've just lost to Bayern Munich 1-0. We're out of the Champions League, Robbie. I hate saying that. I've said that on a few fangers already, but we're out. It's done. Spoke about belief for a long time, believe, but it's starting to dwindle. What do you make of this performance from Arsenal today?
Yeah, it's a mixed bag, isn't it? Because the first half I thought we played really well, really well. But the second half was disappointing. You know what I mean? In these games, I heard what Lee was saying earlier, and it's so true. It's tight. It's small margins, small margins. When you've got two top teams up against each other, they took their chance. You know what I mean? We didn't take ours, and the guy, unfortunately, that was at the centre of both of those incidents was Gabriel Martinelli. In the first half, he has a chance, got to score that. He doesn't. He hits it straight at Manuel Neuer. Yep. And in the second half, he switches off for their goal, and Kimmich runs through and takes the sort of one big chance that they had in the game, and they win the game. You know what I mean? And the other thing that Lee said, which is true as well, we lost the game in the first leg. I said it from the beginning. We needed to come out of that first leg with a victory to bring here, because it's a really, really tough place to come to. You know what I mean? There's 75,000 fans in there. They're an experienced team. They're used to playing in this tournament year in, year out. We're not. Was it the first time we played in it in 7 years? Yeah. And the small margins tonight is what's cost us. We haven't, taken our margin, done what we were supposed to do. They did theirs, and they've won the game. But really and truly, it's that first leg. You know what I mean? The mistakes, the two errors that put them back in the game after we were well on top. That is what has cost us overall, because we're all looking at the game tonight, but it's kind of judged over two games, and over the two games they were slightly better than us.
Yeah, is it opportunity missed? I'll ask this to Julian, because they had big players out today. I know it's a big ask to beat Bayern Munich at their home ground, but is it opportunity missed because of the players they had out?
Well, I think like Gnabry was missing, which was the big one. Davies, but they've got this Bayern Munich, man. I mean, they've got a very good squad. They still had players like Musiala, who I thought he was really good tonight. Really good. We found it really difficult to handle him, but we handled him for most of the game. That's the frustrating thing. In these games, they're tight affairs. When you start to get to quarterfinals, semi-finals, the games are tight. Yeah. They're very really classics, are they? They're tight games that are going to turn on a moment, right? And we defended well up until that, and we just, I just feel like switched off. They score, and then after that, they brought about 10 defenders on at the end of the game. They were very defensive, Bayern, over the two games. If you notice, and that's the respect I think that they have for a team like Arsenal now.
They got the game plan right then.
Yeah,
really.
they did get their game plan right. But I'm saying they were I'm not criticising them. Listen, they've got their game plan right, but they were very defensive over the two legs, and that shows you that they were very fearful of Arsenal. What I was really disappointed in the second half, though, is we've got to have a bit of a plan B. You know what I mean? The build-up play was too slow. We weren't brave enough, I felt, in attack. You know what I mean? Everything was just little short passes, trying to do some little build-up play. You know what I mean? Play a few balls over the top. You know what I mean? Try and get in behind a couple of times. Try and mix it up and do something different. It was too many little short passes, slow build-up. By that time, they've sussed that out. You know what I mean? They're dealing with that. They're dealing with that. You've got to try and do something different. And that's what disappointed me with Arsenal. And is that the inexperience of both the manager and the players showing? They're not trying something different. They're not brave enough, I feel, in the forward play. Yeah. Everything was very
safe,
predictable.
Yeah, and predictable.
It was predictable, right? So once Bayern, they saw that, they just stayed in their shape, made it difficult, defended well. They got a very good goalkeeper in Neuer, and they shut us out. And that's what we got to learn going forward. You know what I mean? If it's not working, you've got to have a plan B. You've got to have something else. We haven't got that at the moment.
That actually leads me to my next question. You perfectly. you're frustrated about Plan B, but what about match winners in this Arsenal side? Is there a lack of match winners? I know it's going to be harsh on the players, but we saw at City the 0-0 draw. Listen, great game. No one could break it down, but no one, when it comes to these big moments, we need someone to step up.
Listen, we still need a striker. And we have had players that have stepped up this season. And I'm not going to, there's been players, forward players in there, in Saka, in Martinelli, in Trossard, Jesus, they stepped up in the last game. But I just feel that sometimes you've got to have another plan. It can't just be short passes in and around the box. If that ain't working, then what?
Yeah.
Then what? Because even the players that we're bringing on, it's all the same style. So you've got to have another plan, right? And you've got to start. Maybe that other plan sometimes is not even in personnel; it's in how you play. I wanted to see a few balls in behind. Try and get the ball in behind. It's Eric Dyer at the back there. Try and get the ball in behind players like that. They're not the quickest players, right? But everything was so predictable for Arsenal in that second half. It was all little short passes. And to me, we never looked like scoring in that second half.
Yeah,
we never looked like scoring.
We didn't. Let me put the light on you and say, if you're the board or you're Mikel Arteta here, because people will say, look, we come here, we didn't get smashed, we haven't been embarrassed. We haven't been embarrassed.
Listen, this is the big step that we've made. Yeah, when Bayern Munich were playing us before, when we used to come here, they looked on us like light work, right? And it was light work. They were beating us 5-1 and it was easy. Yeah. And I think they looked at Arsenal as a little bit of a joke coming here. You can see how they've played over the two legs, that they do not consider us like that anymore. They're looking at us as a serious team. That's why they were so defensive over the two legs, right? We've got to learn, we've got to build on that. Next season, when we're back in this competition, which we will be, right? We got to have a bit more nous. We got to have a bit more about us. When it comes to these type of games, we've got to learn to win our home games. Make sure, there's a lot of learnings from this, but we've definitely not come here and got embarrassed. We've done all right over the two legs, but all right.
It's not good enough.
All right, don't win the Champions League.
And
to win the Champions League and to win the Premier League, you can't be all right. You've got to be exceptional.
Exactly, and that leads me to the question I was going to say. If the light was on you, if you're Mikel Arteta, how far off are we? What are the small things that need to be added to get us to the
just a bit of experience, right? Which we're always
players, or just experience from, as in bringing in new players with experience, or just
I think listen,
these outcomes.
Bit of experience, right? You need, right? Maybe I still think we need. We all have been saying it. We still need a striker, despite the fact that we've been scoring so many goals. We still need a striker. Just need a little bit more, but we're getting there. You know what I mean? And I truly believe that, one day we can, win a competition like this. And, we are competing now with Bayern Munich. That was the thing we were told that we moved to the Emirates to try and do. We're actually
took a bit of time, but we're here.
It's taken a very long time, but we're actually competing with teams like Bayern Munich, still not turning them over though. And I think that first leg was where we missed the opportunity. It worked tonight, that first leg. If we'd have won that first leg and come back here, I'm convinced we would have went through. But it was always going to be a tall ask to come here and try and get the victory. But listen, we got to take the learnings from that. We've got a very good side. And also, what we got to do now is we got to dust ourselves down. And we've got a massive game at the weekend against Wolves.
Are you worried? Are you worried for the rest of the season now?
Well, listen.
Be honest.
Every game right now, from now till the end of the season, is a cup final, right? Which we've been saying all along. Every team is looking. If you look at how we've lost the last two games, right? Every team has become ultra defensive against us and looked to catch us on the counter. We've not been able to break them down. We haven't scored a goal in those two games against Villa and tonight, right?
That's a good point.
Wolves will be looking on that. Chelsea will be looking on that. All these teams, we've got to find a way. The league's not over yet. There's still that to fight for, despite everyone saying it's over. City are 2 points above us. If they add a draw and we win a game, we're back to top. We've just got to get back to winning ways, but it's really, really disappointing tonight. But we come a long way. I said at the start of the season when people were saying, what do you think we could do in the Champions League? I said, listen, I think if we could probably get possibly to the quarterfinals with a bit of luck. We got to the quarterfinals. But to kick on next year, to really push on, I think we're going to have to learn from experiences like this. And it is disappointing, but, I'm still proud of the team. We've got to learn. We've got to learn from this. There's a lot of lessons to learn, And we got to be less predictable when it comes to these type of games.